Today, we're exploring a life-changing concept from the legendary personal development teacher Jim Rohn, a man who transformed himself from being broke and struggling at age 25 to becoming one of the most influential success philosophers of our time. And the secret he discovered, it all comes down to one word: reasons. This isn't just another motivational talk. This is about understanding the fundamental force that drives human achievement. Because here's the truth. You probably already have the intelligence you need. You likely have the ability. What you might be missing are powerful enough reasons to use them. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why your reasons are everything and how to find the ones that will change your life forever. Let's dive in. Jim Rohn tells the story of a pivotal conversation with his mentor, a successful businessman he called Mr. Shoff. This mentor looked at the young, struggling Jim and said something that would echo through decades. Jim, if you had enough reasons, you could do the most incredible things. Think about that for a moment. Not if you were smarter or if you had more resources, if you had enough reasons. Mr. Shoff went on to tell Jim something even more profound. I don't think your current bank balance is a true indication of your level of intelligence. You've got plenty of intelligence, plenty of talent, plenty of ability. What you lack is plenty of reasons. This was revolutionary. It meant that Jim wasn't failing because he wasn't capable. He was failing because he hadn't found compelling enough reasons to unleash that capability. And here's what makes this so powerful for you and me. It means most of us are walking around with untapped potential, not because we lack what it takes, but because we haven't connected deeply enough with our why. Jim discovered that reasons come first, answers come second. You don't get the answers to succeed until you have the reasons. Life holds on to its secrets and only releases them to people who are truly inspired by powerful reasons. So what kinds of reasons actually work? Let's start with personal reasons. Some people are driven by recognition, others by respect. Many are motivated by the sheer feeling of being a winner, that internal satisfaction that comes from knowing you gave your best and achieved something meaningful. Jim Rohn knew millionaires who kept working 12-hour days, not because they needed more money, but because they needed the joy, the satisfaction, and the pleasure that comes from being a constant winner. Because here's a secret that broke people don't understand. It's not about the money, it's about the journey. Jim would say, once in a while somebody tells me, if I had $1 million, I'd never work another day in my life. That's probably why they don't get their million. They'd quit. What does being a winner feel like to you? Is it the pride of overcoming challenges, the confidence that builds when you keep promises to yourself, the respect you earn from those who know your story? These internal motivators are incredibly powerful because nobody can take them away from you. Ask yourself right now, what would it feel like to become the person you're capable of becoming? Not what you'd have, but who you'd be. That feeling, that vision of your best self, that's a reason worth pursuing. But Jim discovered something even more powerful than personal achievement. We will often do things for others that we won't do for ourselves. Family reasons, the people we love, this is where human motivation reaches its highest potential. Jim met a man who said he needed to earn $250,000 a year to do everything he wanted to do with his family around the world. At first, it seemed incredible. Could someone's family affect them that much? The answer was absolutely yes. Think about the song lyric Jim referenced. If not for you, the winter would hold no spring. Couldn't hear a robin sing. I just wouldn't have a clue if not for you. We are deeply affected by the people we love. Finding someone or something beyond yourself to work for might be one of the most stimulating reasons to achieve. Consider Andrew Carnegie, the small Scottish immigrant who built a steel empire. When he died, they found a piece of paper in his desk drawer. On it was the goal he'd written in his 20s. I'm going to spend the first half of my life accumulating money. I'm going to spend the last half of my life giving it all away. He was so inspired by this purpose that he accumulated $450 million in the first half of his life and gave it all away in the second half. That's the power of a reason bigger than yourself. Who are you doing this for? Your children? Your parents who sacrificed for you? Your future family? The community you want to serve? When your reasons extend beyond yourself, you tap into a reservoir of strength you didn't know existed. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Jim discovered that sometimes the smallest reasons are the most powerful. He called them nitty-gritty, hard little reasons. Sometimes it doesn't take much to spark a complete life transformation. Jim shared a story that he never forgot, a moment of pain that became a turning point. Just before meeting his mentor, he heard a knock at his door. A little girl was selling Girl Scout cookies for $2. She gave him an enthusiastic sales presentation, and he genuinely wanted to buy them, but he couldn't. He was broke. At 25 years old, a father, a husband, a college graduate with a job, he didn't have $2. The embarrassment was crushing. Rather than admit the truth, he lied to her, saying he'd already bought plenty and still had them stacked in the house. She thanked him and left. When he closed the door, something inside him snapped. That was the day Jim Rohn decided, I don't want to live like this anymore. I've had it with lying, and I've had it with being broke. I'm never going to let this happen to me ever again. From that day forward, Jim committed to working as hard as possible and always carrying plenty of money. Years later, he would carry several $100s in his money clip, not because he needed it for daily expenses, but for two reasons. One, the way it made him feel, and two, in case he ever bumped into another Girl Scout selling cookies. He wanted to be ready. That's the power of a painful moment transformed into a reason. What's your Girl Scout cookie moment? What experience was so uncomfortable, so embarrassing, so painful that you said, never again? Jim asked two questions that changed his life, and I want you to ask them right now. Question 1. What's got you turned on? What inspires you so much that you'd get up early and stay up late? What makes you want to hit it all day with enthusiasm and energy? Question 2. What's got you turned off? What's draining your energy? What are you tolerating that's killing your motivation? When Jim found the answers to these questions, his life exploded into change. He identified what had him turned off and fixed it. Then he created a long list of reasons to turn him on. Once those lights went on at age 25, they never went out. He faced setbacks, sure. He fell out of the sky a few times, but he never lost that drive to make something unique out of his life. Reasons altered his entire life, and they can alter yours. Start making your list. Write down your personal reasons, how you want to feel, who you want to become, the respect you want to earn. Write down your family reasons, who you're doing this for, what you want to provide, the legacy you want to leave. Write down your nitty-gritty reasons, the moments that hurt so much you promised yourself never again. The more reasons you have, the stronger you become. The clearer your reasons, the easier the answers appear. Life responds to people who are truly inspired. Jim Rohn taught us that we don't lack intelligence, talent, or ability. We lack powerful reasons to deploy what we already have. And the beautiful truth is that you can find those reasons right now. You can decide today that your current circumstances aren't a reflection of your potential. They're just a reflection of your reasons up until this point. So here's your assignment. Make your list. Find your reasons. Connect with what truly matters to you. Because when you do, everything changes. The answers start appearing. The path becomes clear. The energy returns. Your reasons are waiting to be discovered. And when you find them, your life will never be the same. Thank you for watching. If this message resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, reasons come first, answers come second. Go find your reasons.